Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey reunite at the 2025 Oscars to celebrate the life and legacy of Quincy Jones. The 2025 Academy Awards became a historic night as two Hollywood legends, Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, reunited on stage to pay tribute to the late Quincy Jones. The entertainment icon, who passed away on November 3, 2024 at the age of 91 due to pancreatic cancer, was honored for his extraordinary contributions to music, film, and culture. As the crowd inside the Grand Dolby Theater in Los Angeles watched with admiration, Goldberg and Winfrey took center stage, standing side by side just as they had nearly 4 decades ago in the landmark film The Color Purple. The two actresses, who had both credited Jones as a mentor and guiding force in their careers, were visibly moved as they reflected on his immense influence. Goldberg, a trailblazer in her own right as an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and Tony winner, began the tribute by speaking about Jones' legendary career. There are very few people in this world who can say they changed music. Quincy Jones didn't just change music, he revolutionized it. And then he went on to change film, television, and the very culture we live in. She continued, he won 28 Grammys, making him one of the most awarded musicians of all time. He worked with legends: Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. But Quincy didn't just work with legends, he made legends. Winfrey, who has long described The Color Purple as one of the defining experiences of her life, took a deep breath before adding, Quincy was love lived out loud in human form. He poured that love into music, into storytelling, into friendships, and into every single person lucky enough to cross his path. My life changed forever and for the better because of him. Quincy Jones, a legacy beyond compare. Jones' name is synonymous with musical genius. Born in 1933 in Chicago, Illinois, he started as a jazz musician before becoming one of the most prolific producers and composers in history. His ability to blend genres, from jazz and blues to pop and hip-hop, set him apart. His work on Michael Jackson's Thriller, the best-selling album of all time, alone would have been enough to cement his legacy. But Quincy Jones was never one to settle. He became one of the first black producers to achieve mainstream success in Hollywood, breaking barriers that had long kept black artists behind the scenes. Goldberg highlighted his influence on film, saying, Quincy was the first black composer ever nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Score. That was in 1967 for In Cold Blood. And he didn't stop there. His film scores shaped some of the most iconic movies of all time, The Wiz, For Love of Ivy, and of course The Color Purple. Jones received 7 Academy Award nominations, yet never won a competitive Oscar, something many in Hollywood regarded as one of the greatest oversights in the Academy's history. The Color Purple and the life-changing influence of Quincy Jones. For Goldberg and Winfrey, The Color Purple was more than just a film. It was the project that changed the course of their lives. Based on Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Color Purple told the harrowing yet hopeful story of Celie, a black woman in the American South navigating racism, sexism, and abuse. The film was a breakthrough moment for both Goldberg and Winfrey, who were newcomers in Hollywood at the time. Winfrey, who had been a television host with little acting experience, recalled the moment she learned Jones had chosen her for a role. I remember when I got the call. I was a nobody. I had no film experience. But Quincy saw something in me. He believed in me before I even believed in myself. Goldberg, whose career was also launched by The Color Purple, nodded in agreement. Me too. He saw potential where others saw inexperience. That's what made Quincy so special. He didn't just give opportunities, he gave people a sense of purpose. Jones produced and composed the score for The Color Purple, bringing his signature musical brilliance to the project. Though the film received 11 Academy Award nominations including nods for Goldberg and Winfrey, it was famously shut out, winning none. Yet its impact endured, inspiring generations of filmmakers, actors, and audiences. A tribute to a legend. As the tribute continued, Goldberg and Winfrey took turns sharing memories of their time with Jones. He was the person you called when you needed advice, Goldberg said. He had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the room. And let me tell you, that man was in a lot of rooms with a lot of important people. Winfrey smiled, remembering how Jones would light up every gathering with his infectious energy. He loved people. He loved music. He loved life. And you could feel that in everything he did. They then invited Queen Latifah on stage for a special musical tribute, performing a moving medley of songs associated with Jones' career. The performance included classics like We Are the World, Human Nature, and Home from the Wiz. As the final notes of the tribute performance echoed through the Dolby Theater, The audience rose to their feet in a thunderous standing ovation. The end of an era, the beginning of a legacy. Quincy Jones passed away peacefully in his Bel Air home, surrounded by family and loved ones. His death marked the end of an era, but his influence remains everlasting. His impact on music and film transcends generations, and his work continues to inspire new artists, producers, and dreamers. As the tribute concluded, Winfrey looked out at the audience, tears in her eyes. Tonight, we don't just mourn Quincy Jones. We celebrate him. We honor him. And we thank him for everything he gave us. Goldberg added, Quincy Jones was more than a legend. He was a force of nature. And his music, his films, and his spirit will never, ever fade. With those words, the 2025 Oscars paid homage to a man who shaped the entertainment industry in ways few could ever match. The night ended with a deep sense of gratitude, a reflection on an extraordinary life, and a reminder that true legends never really leave us. They live on through the music, the stories, and the lives they've touched. Rest in peace, Quincy Jones. Your melody will never fade.